He called me and he said that he was at Home Depot and that there was guys with guns in the parking lot. And he's like, I think it's ICE. And I was like, are you sure? And then his line went dead. I live nearby, so I rushed over here. And then that's what I pull up to. I pull up to him running across the parking lot, people tackling him. And one guy got in my face with mace and was like, I'm gonna mace you back up. I was like, why are you gonna mace me? And then I go around to try and record what they're doing to him, and one guy gets right in front of me and trying to block me and starts pushing me. I said, don't touch me. I'm still recording. I'm like, leave him alone, He's a US citizen.
You look at me when I'm talking to you. Bitch, you're the one we have to be scared of. I got no fucking gun, no taser. Bitch, that's you. Here you are, fucking breaking families apart for what? You feel good?
This is breaking news out of Nebraska. Stated that ICE had now conducted a raid at a Glen Valley Foods. It is stated that they took about 80% of their staff. That 80% of their staff were illegal immigrants. ICE did a major sweep there. Just stated in all major air stations out of Nebraska. 80%. It's a horrible number. It's a lot of people just trying to go to work every day. Regardless if it's last week or 2 weeks ago to even today, it's still happening. You still have to be aware. You still have to stay safe. Just because 1 week is not at your place doesn't mean that next week they'll be right at your front door. Pay attention, you guys. Stay aware. Hit me in the comments. Keep hitting that follow button. Much love.
Imagine being a US citizen and while shopping at the grocery store, masked ICE agents without a federal warrant come inside the store, and at one point during their operation, they start going after you. So you tell them you're an American, where you were born, that you have an ID, a social, a birth certificate, but none of them seem to care. Then you start to run to ask for help, they catch up to you, they shove you to the ground, beat you with a baton, and violently take you into custody. Well, that is exactly what happened to Angel Pina on Monday, July 21st, as he shopped at a Starter Bros market in Ontario, California. It was not until a supervisor showed up that ICE agents released him, and he was hospitalized after he passed out twice and could not stop vomiting. His family believes that he was given a concussion by ICE agents as he was placed under arrest. This is Trump's America, where US citizens are being racially profiled. I don't care what Homeland Security Kristi Noem says. Share this video to help spread the word. Not enough people are talking about this case.
To those of you in southern New Hampshire, ICE has made several arrests recently in Manchester, Nashua, and Portsmouth. And rumor has it that they are currently in Dover and will be for the next week or so. So be mindful, be safe. Love you all.
He called us and let us know that ICE was surrounded where he worked and saying goodbye, that he loved us. And when we came over here to see what was going on, if there's any way that we could get him or any information or to help him. We were right here. We got pepper sprayed. We got shot at. We got, me and my mother helped an 80-year-old lady who got shot at her ribs, and she got, with the canister, open up her leg. And, that day we saw, no matter what color you were, everybody helped each other. We were there to help each other. They didn't care. They didn't care you were 2, 3, 80, 90. They didn't care. They were just shooting. When you ask them, what's going on, give us information, they just aggressively told us to step the F back. So what can we do? Somebody who just came in to check up on a loved one, and you get somebody coming against you aggressively. So Rafa is, I call him Don Rafa. Even though he's younger than me, he's Don Rafa because he's like to the book. He's like the older brother that, will put you on check because you're not following the law and everything. Rafa he's a family man. He's, from work to house, and, his family is his number one.
Have you had a chance to talk to him on the phone?
Yes, he communicated with us, with his wife, and he got pursued. He got, brainwashed to go ahead and sign for quick deportation. So he's going to do that. because he doesn't want to. They're telling him that he's going to be there for over a year if he fights this case, and they're telling him not to get a lawyer, not to do anything, just to sign.
And you're not family, but yet you're making plans already to go to TJ.
Yeah, definitely, because even though he's not blood, he's still family. You know, we have to help each other. Like, he helped us, you know, we help him. Now his family is our family. So, of course, I'm going to help him. You know, now we have to go ahead and take clothes and everything on his necessities so he could be okay on the other side. That's what I'm going to be doing. Because even though, like he said, it's not family, but we are. And we have to take care of each other.
I'm so sorry you're going through this. I can hear his daughter in the background. How many children does he have?
He has 2 daughters. You know, this one, you know, the younger one's hasn't kicked in yet, but the older one knows what's going on, knows what's, you know, she doesn't want to go to Mexico because she's afraid that what's going to happen in Mexico. With everything, she's saying that she's scared. But now they have to leave. And they're American citizens.
I can hear his daughter. It sounds like she's organizing. It makes me really sad that the children, instead of enjoying their summer vacation, they're experiencing family separation.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's something that we, instead of planning a trip to Disneyland, or, you know, we always plan something as a family, and we would go to the water park, or, you know, whatever, family time. So that's the reality that we're living now.
So the ICE raid started today, and I'm going to tell you how this is going to benefit the regular working class American. Let me explain. You are going to work your whole life, and you are going to accumulate assets and retirement. And then when you're about 60 years old, you're going to get what's called asshole cancer. Okay? You're desperately going to want to live because your grandkids are being born and you want to see them grow up. And then in your struggle to survive, the government and insurance companies are going to take everything that you've ever worked for, ever. Your legacy, you're not going to leave shit for your children, right? So this is how it benefits you. Because on your deathbed, you can say, at least I rounded up all the brown people. At least trans people aren't using the bathroom anymore. None of this benefits you. None of this is going to make your life more prosperous, all right? So I would really like to not focus on poor brown farm workers that definitely are not stealing your fucking job. I know, because I grew up.
Heard that undocumented illegals take the jobs Americans don't want to do because they're backbreaking. It's a narrative that they've pushed on us. You say it enough times, people start to believe it. 70 people were just picked up when they raided a meatpacking company in Omaha. Within hours, days, thousands of Americans wanted those jobs. We're also fed the narrative, it's because illegals will fight to get the minimum wage paying job. The 70 individuals were making between $18 and $20 an hour. In Omaha, I didn't check, but that's probably not minimum wage. That's probably way above minimum wage in Omaha. I don't know if I've ever been there. I can't place it, but you see what I'm saying? Americans are waiting in line for jobs, and we see corporations have priority. Just so you know, the same company, JBS, did this in 2018 when they got raided, and then hired a bunch of Americans, and soon replaced them again with undocumented. Yeah, as soon as it seems as though when administrations change, corporations see that there's a lax, everything's relaxed, and they go back to where they're more profitable, because at the end of the day, that's all they
go a passport right there, thousands of dollars worth of stuff, man. She just left. They just left behind. Damn, this is crazy. Man, she left behind everything. This is thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff. Designer bags, more designer bags, all kind of designer. Man, it's just stuff everywhere. Damn, this is crazy, man. Wow. This is crazy. Double bathroom, sweet, nice place. Everything is still in here. Fuck. Man, this some bullshit, man. It is what it is, though, man. Car haven't been driven, man. Look at all the dust on it.
There is a huge issue with the rhetoric of immigrating here the right way. Because the right way is literally contingent upon
where we're at in history and what laws are in place. Gabe Evans, a Colorado congressman, has been preaching doing it, quote, the right way, like his grandpa did, like his family's done. And it turns out that's not what happened. Not only did his grandpa come here without documentation, his grandpa attempted burglary, which according to Evans is reason for deportation, without exception. And just because I'm really salty, I'm even going to share that according to his aunt, Gabe didn't even know his grandpa very well. And that it's a huge misrepresentation to say that he would have supported Trump. And this is coming from the guy that was saying, if you are not lawfully here, you need to go back, quote, deport them all, quote, yeah, go back, wait in line like everybody else does in a law-abiding society. Yeah, waiting in line and, quote, doing it the right way is harmful rhetoric. Don't you think people would gain lawful citizenship if they could? To myth bust for you real quick, most undocumented individuals in the U.S. came here legally and their documentation expired. Second, being here undocumented is a civil offense, is not a criminal offense. It is like getting a speeding ticket. Third, people need to look inside themselves and find some common humanity. Let's start with Gabe Evans, whose family is exactly the type of story he's been criticizing.
In the last couple of weeks and months, ICE has been conducting raids in a lot of work sites around Iowa. If you're an immigrant without legal, valid employment authorization, you are in jeopardy from these raids. They are targeting specific work sites where they already have evidence that there are people working there undocumented. For all those clients that are in that boat, I would recommend to consult with an attorney to see if you can legalize your status and be able to have some sort of protection whenever they go and actually try and pick you up. Also, it's good to talk to attorneys about possible bond if in the event that you do get detained by ICE, and if there's any possibility to getting any type of work permit here in the United States. If you need to consult with me, give me a call at 515-444-4000 and we can go over your case. Thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome to Global Gist with BJ. How are you doing? I hope you're good. So we're on to a very, very serious one right now. ICE are currently raiding places in Nebraska, New York City, Phoenix, Arizona, Glen Valley Food, Iowa, food distribution sites, New York City, Wisconsin, and so many engineering sites. Honestly, it is very, very serious. And do not forget what is happening right there. But before I bring the commentaries, I want you to watch these videos while I come back with the commentaries. Make sure you've subscribed for more news like this.
Story time about how I think I got hate crimed and a political rant. So I was going to the gym and I had parked in the parking lot as usual. I was walking up to the front entrance and this guy was walking out. It was like a grown, maybe 40-something-year-old white man. He was walking out. I was about to walk in. I wasn't to the door yet. He saw me and he got in my way. I was walking straight and then all of a sudden I was stopped and he was right there. And I said, excuse me, even though he got in my way. He didn't say anything. He looks back at me and starts spitting at my face. He went and then he walked away and gave me a look, a dirty look. Listen, I was dumbfounded. I went to the bathroom and cried. Okay, I went to the bathroom and cried. And I didn't even work out. After I stopped crying in the stall, I left. Anyway, I'm getting that situation taken care of. Getting that figured out. But I just wanted to talk about why I think I was hate crimed. And that is because I am Mexican. And, you know, my immediate thought was that maybe he did it because he didn't like Hispanics because of ICE and Trump and whatever. And the fact that my mind went there right away is just so sad. A lot of my people are anxious. A lot of people of color are anxious. And it's really sad. And I can't help but feel so strongly about ICE and what's happening. This is more than just illegal immigrants, and we all know that. And if you decide to think otherwise, I think you're very delusional. And I think you're stupid. This is more than illegal immigrants. People are being racially profiled and dehumanized. There's no doubt. It sucks seeing people that look like me, look like my grandparents, getting dehumanized like that. All of this is making people feel comfortable being racist. You're telling me that I'm being dramatic? You're telling me we could still be friends? Are you crazy? Are you stupid? This is personal. This is super personal, and anyone who understands will know that this is so personal, and it literally irks. It irks me in my head. It hurts my heart because, you know, my family is super hardworking, and It sucks that, like, this is something that I'm scared of. I'm scared of my grandparents being hate crimed or whatever. Just like, my grandma had gotten questioned about her citizenship at the gym. Being asked, "Are you legal?" by an old white man. This is the America that Trump is creating. And you're telling me to be calm. And you're telling me to shut the hell up. Speak up. It's infuriating.
One ICE raid just kicks off a terror campaign within a neighborhood, and people are afraid to go out into the streets.
VC defensive volunteer Leo Martinez says the demand for food deliveries has shot up, and the attendance at many food distribution sites has dropped.
Now our volunteers are having to load up their cars with all the extra food at the end of the food distribution and going out to do deliveries, whether it be in neighborhoods that we know are in need, or as part of our network of families that we're trying to serve that were directly affected by the first raid.
Prior to the raids, the volunteers would go to food distribution sites to pass out Know Your Rights flyers. Now they're focused on delivering the food to some of the community's most vulnerable.
We're running to the box food stores, sometimes we're going to local distributors, and that's where we put together our bundles and we buy in bulk dry beans, dry rice, dry pasta, and then we mix it in together with a lot of canned proteins.
Food security is everything to families.
Yvonne Lamelli says it's the farm workers who are struggling the most, as they're skipping days of work in the fields out of fear of deportation. So now she's helping.
We get big bulks of things, right? Bulk of beans and rice, and then we have volunteers by hand putting them in like quart-sized bags and then really like distributing and putting these things together.
And it's not just food they're delivering, it's also basic hygiene necessities such as diapers and toiletries. Lamelli says it's bringing dignity to families.
It's just one tiny stress off of a family's plate that has already experienced so much trauma.
It's about helping them survive the day-to-day. In Ventura County, I'm News Channel reporter Mina Wahab.
So Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Homeland Security, says that ICE is only going after the worst of the worst. So where does ICE find the worst of the worst? Working on farms, working in restaurants, working at their landscaping business, working at construction sites. That's where they find the worst of the worst. All working. Less than 0.5% of the people that ICE kidnaps are violent criminals. Less than 0.5%. The other crimes that ICE says these other people have committed are motor vehicle violations, marijuana possession, and the crime of crossing the border looking to work and make a better life. ICE only goes after men, women, and children who are working or in school, not criminals.
Guys, this is a big deal. ICE is now partnered with over 500 local law enforcement agencies across the United States. So, of course, we're going to talk about which ones. There are 517 active 287G agreements across 39 states with 340 local law enforcement agencies, which is a big increase from around 135 agreements in late 2024. In many of these agreements, they employ the task force model, which allows local officers to make immigration arrests in the communities, not just in the jails. So by now you're probably asking, well, what states and what counties are you talking about? Well, I made a little chart here, but you can look this up and I'll link all the things below. So Florida leads the nation with 97 law enforcement agencies covering all 67 counties under Task Force 287G. You have Texas with 76 enforcement agreements, including the National Guard involvement. You have Alabama with at least 9 agreements across 6 counties. You have Minnesota with 7 rural counties with agreements. Kentucky has multiple agencies as well. Maine has 2. New York has 4. And Nassau County has actually specifically cross-designated 10 detectives as ICE agents. Delaware has 1 as well, and there are 7 counties in Maryland. So pay attention. Take it for what you will.
New York City, get prepared, because they say ICE raids is going to hit hard in the Big Apple in New York City. They say it's going to be a massive ICE raid, which means they're going to call the National Security Guard. They're going to call the Marines, ICE agents, everything. And you know, New York people do not play. And I keep telling people on this app, East Coast is different from the West Coast. New York is not like Los Angeles, California. No New Yorkers ain't going to play. They is crazy and all. Soon as they see them ICE agents knocking on their door, they going to take them and throw them out the window for real. So believe it. You don't want it with New York. You don't want it with Philadelphia, PA. You don't want it with Baltimore, Maryland. You don't want it with Detroit, Pittsburgh. You don't want it with none of the hardcore cities up east. Back east is not going to play with them ICE raids and all. They're not going to play with that. And I keep telling these Mr. Charlie supporters, they're not. So keep on doing that. Like I said, they're going to be in the dumpster. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be nice. It's going to be disgusting, nasty. You're going to be seeing that garbage truck be dumping bodies into the garbage truck. They be like, where all these bodies come from? Believe it. You don't want it with New York, because them guys in New York, they is some straight, I'm not going to say too much, but they some straight lunatics. They is local out there in New York. And they don't mind, come bring all that ICE raid. We'll show how New Yorkers get down. I know. I'm from back east. I may be from PA, but PA's right next to New York. You know, I know how New Yorkers get down for real. And they already did. They want to, I think, a little Haitian town in New York City. And them Haitians were fighting back at them ICE agents. They were throwing bowls. You know, I salute to the Haitians, my Haitian brothers and sisters. That's what's up. You know, don't let them ICE agents run over you. Them Haitians was stomping them ICE agents. That's what's up. You know, just to show you East Coast cats do not play. So you don't want it with New York. New York is going to be prepared. They're already prepared. And they don't mind come with that ICE agent raid up here and see what happens. So believe it, ICE, you're going to be in a rude awakening, because New Yorkers, they're not going to play with that ICE raid. They ain't going to play that national security guard. They ain't going to play none of that. Knock on their door, see what happens. And next, you'll be in the dumpster. And mark my words, your ass is going to be in the dumpster. It ain't going to be nice. It ain't going to be pretty. It's going to be disturbing. Them ICE agents going to be flying back home in a body bag or in a casket. You just don't know. You in a rude awakening. You going to the wrong city with that ICE raid. And all. Mr. Charlie the posse just don't know. He opened Pandora's box if he does this massive ICE raid in New York City. Them guys is local. They is loonies. Them New Yorkers, them Philadelphia people, them Baltimore, they is not going to play with them ICE raids. Do all that massive ICE raid in New York and see what happens. No New Yorkers ain't going to play with that for real. They is not going to play no games. And they on my come to New York and see what happens. Come to New York, and you're going to be leaving on vacation in a body bag or in a casket. Your family going to be wearing black dresses and suits to your funeral home. You better have life insurance, because you start all them ICE raids in New York, they is not going to play. You already see the Haitians in New York City. They wasn't playing around. They were throwing them balls. They were throwing fists. You know, get out of here with your asses. You mass ass. But I can't say too much. You know, it's a TikTok. But anyways, though, yeah, New Yorkers is not going to play with these ICE raids. So New Yorkers, be prepared, because they're trying to say it's a massive ICE raid going to happen, all because the Supreme Judge, they blocked that Mr. Charlie administration bull crap to have ICE agents come up there. And the Supreme Judge said, no, you ain't come to New York and all. For real. I think that judge was warning you. You don't want it with New York. It's going to be a bloodbath in New York. Do all that stuff in New York and see what happens. Keep on doing it. It ain't going to be the Haitians. It's going to be everybody in New York. I don't care what race you are in New York. Everybody sticks together in New York. It doesn't matter what skin color you is. They is all coming at you in the Big Apple. So I say, if you want to start this big ICE raid in New York, be prepared. Because like I said, you're going to open Pandora's box to a lot of can of whoop ass and bloodbath in New York. You're going to open Pandora's box. You're going to see the real loonies. You're going to see the real crazy people for real. You is not going to make it out of New York alive. Do all that massive ICE raid and see what happens. Because I know my peoples in New York, they is not going to put up with that crap. And I know my peoples in Philly, they is not going to put up with that crap. And Baltimore, B-more, definitely ain't going to put up with that crap. That's gangster city. And them boys, they'll smoke you out there. So get prepared. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be loony bins. It's going to be the Wild Wild West in New York. You don't want with New York. You don't want with Philly. You don't want with Chicago. I keep telling these people, you know, you're messing around with the wrong cities back east. Back east is not the West Coast. New York is not like Los Angeles, California. They is crazy. They is locals out there. They will throw you out the window ASAP. You will be in the dumpster. For real. You're going to be seeing so many white tee boys and white tee girls in the dumpster. Their family's going to be crying and all. For real, they're going to be flying a body bag on the casket. I repeat, ICE, don't come to New York. Do not come to New York. They is not going to play around with these ICE raids. New York is crazy. It's a whole nother level. You're going to meet some insane the membrane. Insane the membrane. They is insane out there. They is cuckoo out there. They'll show you what type of cat they are. They a whole new breed of people out there in NYC. Even in Philly, even in Baltimore. Come to all these hardcore cities back east and see what happens. Do all these ICE raids in these hardcore cities back east. And the Midwest too, see what happens. And I promise you, you will not make it out alive. That's the only thing I gotta say. F you, ICE agents. For real. F you. East Coast boys is not gonna play with that crap. And that's on my mama, for real.
So he was kidnapped and he was human trafficked to Guatemala. The insanely inhumane story I have to tell today is about an 82-year-old man, a grandfather from Pennsylvania. I say he's from Pennsylvania because he's been a legal resident in Pennsylvania for 40 years. He's 82 years old. He's a grandfather, he has family, children, grandchildren. He misplaced his green card. So he went to immigration to get a replacement, which is what he's supposed to do. I'm going to use the words that they use in the media, and then we're going to use the words that are the real words to use. He was arrested, he was detained, and he was deported. His wife was detained for nearly 2 days, but he was arrested, detained, and deported. Right. So he is originally from the country Chile. If he were deported, he would have been deported to Chile for no reason, because he has not committed any crime. He misplaced his green card. He was deported to Guatemala, a completely different country, one that he has no ties to. We only know that he's in Guatemala because people in Chile tracked him down to a hospital because he has heart problems. He's 82. He has heart problems and he's a diabetic. Of course, his family didn't know this because I sent a fake lawyer to them to tell them that he was dead. Okay, so legal resident with a green card has been paying taxes for 40 years to the United States of America. He has children and grandchildren and a wife in the United States and a home, legal resident with a green card, not a criminal. And I don't know how walking into an immigration for a question to ask for a replacement document is in any way, if you're ready to pounce on anyone who walks through the door, how is that not entrapment of some kind? Kidnapped and human trafficked to Guatemala. If an elderly, law-abiding, tax-paying, legal US resident can be kidnapped and human trafficked to another country, it can happen to you. No one is safe now.
You are not safe if ICE thinks you look illegal. I don't know how much more evidence you need that ICE is not going after the worst of the worst. They didn't even look at Javier Santana's valid and current real ID before they threw him in the back of an ICE car and drove off. And a real ID is only given to U.S. citizens, green card holders, TPS holders, and DACA recipients. And this next part is important. For non-citizens, it expires on the same day as their U.S. legal presence documents. Did I mention that he's deaf? So for weeks after he got to the El Paso Detention Center, he couldn't communicate with his lawyer or family because they didn't have text telephone devices. Oh, and did I mention that he doesn't communicate in Spanish, so all the paperwork they gave him in Spanish, he couldn't understand either. He's finally been released on $1,500 bond after an attorney pled his case and a judge admitted that there's no evidence he would be a danger as he had no criminal history. Oh, and the judge also said that they had never seen a bond request on an administratively closed case, meaning that there was no active deportation order. They don't care what documents you have because they're not going to look at them anyway. He couldn't communicate with them because he couldn't sign with his hands cuffed, which they didn't know because they didn't even know who he was, just that he looked like someone that they thought shouldn't be here.
If the White House and Homeland Security are using undocumented people's tax records to find and kidnap them, then it was never about them not paying taxes. If you're showing up at their place of employment, then it was never about them not working. And if you're grabbing them and rounding them up at courthouses after they've shown up for hearings, then it was never about getting them to do things the right way. If you're kidnapping women and children, it was never about criminals. And if you're not offering due process, it was never about the Constitution. And if you're spending billions of dollars doing this, then it was never about the economy. And if you're doing all of this in the name of a 34-time convicted felon, it was never about following the law. Thanks to TikToker Ian for these tips. Please let me know your thoughts on this, because this isn't going to go away. And I think these people, meaning the administration, are going to be in a lot of trouble soon.
Y'all Hispanics gotta understand these ICE raids is going on because y'all are breaking the bank. Like, y'all getting so much money. Y'all getting all the money. Y'all getting all the legal working money, and they hating on y'all. They hating on y'all. I salute y'all, because y'all know how to do it. Every time I'm pulling up or going riding through a Hispanic neighborhood, it'd be like 30 cars at one house. Like, what? Y'all getting big bread. Y'all doing whatever y'all want to do. Y'all living y'all best lives, and they hating on y'all. And they go continue to hate on y'all. And they go hate on y'all parents first for making the right move for their children. And they go hate on the children because they taking advantage and not taking it for granted. And they hating on y'all grandchildren, y'all future kids, so they won't be able to do what y'all did. It's crazy, but I salute y'all. Niggas need to do the same shit y'all doing, because we down, broke, bad, like ridiculous. I'm out of here.
It's Wednesday, July 23rd, and these are your ICE recaps for in and around LA. In Santana, off of 1st and Birch, ICE agents were spotted early this morning, blocking off streets in both directions in front of a school. It's unclear at the moment how many people were taken, but it appears to be an operation between ICE and ATF. Several children, a baby, and women were sitting on the curb in front of a school with an ICE agent holding a rifle in front of them. There were 3 men who witnesses say were arrested. As to the other people and the children, it's unclear if they were taken or released. ICE and Border Patrol vehicles were spotted again roaming around LA, including the South Bay. They were also spotted in Culver City on Overland and Jefferson, as well as in Beverly Hills as well. Looked like they had an operation there. We don't have any more details. In Hawthorne and Cerise Avenue, they did take one person, and based from the commentary of the person recording on the phone, it appears as if a warrant was not showed. In Whittier, there was a moment of concern when somebody reported an empty flower stand. Residents came out to go check on it, and it turned out the gentleman was just taking a little break. In the continuous saga of Milagro Portillo, the family put out a statement today detailing the events, including, quote, Anaheim Global Medical Center is part of the Global Medical Center that holds a contract with DHS, and was recently fined and cited by the California Department of Public Health for patient safety violations so egregious that they ended in multiple deaths. Hospital administration even called the Anaheim Police Department to threaten arrest to Milagro's legal representative, family member, and community advocate if they did not leave their seats in the lobby. That poor woman has been going through some traumatizing events these past weeks. We'll keep you updated as to anything else that happens. Now, this next event didn't happen in Los Angeles. It was in Palm Beach, Florida. But it's curious because as ICE agents took a U.S. citizen down to the ground, they laughed about tasing him, and they also were bragging about a $30K bonus they were going to get. They're doing it for the money and having a laugh about it as they're abusing U.S. citizens. In other news, Trump's top federal prosecutor in L.A. struggles to secure indictments in protest cases, the LA Times reports. The grand jury had just refused to indict someone accused of attacking federal law enforcement officers during a protest against the recent immigration raids throughout Southern California. Legal experts and some of Iseli's prosecutors say he's stretching legal limits to serve as President Trump's attack dog in LA. Bill Iseli, Trump's appointee, could be heard yelling through the speakerphone at his prosecutor outside the grand jury room. The Guardian also looks into a report of alleged abuses at a Miami jail. Migrants at ICE jail in Miami with hands shackled were made to kneel and eat like dogs. There's a lot of abuses going in there, but another one I'll point out is that females were also confined with men, and they were made to use the toilets in full view of them and denied access to gender-appropriate care, showers, or adequate food. There's more grotesque abuses in that article. And also, yesterday was reported that a Vietnamese national died while in ICE custody for 7 weeks in Texas. As always, the links to all these references and articles will be up on LATaco.com. Look for tonight's Daily Memo.
But they're arresting people with citizenship and green cards and work visas. There's countless reasons why a US citizen can be arrested and or detained by ICE. It can be a simple check on the side of the road. It can be a simple interstate check. It can be a workplace employment check. It can be a variety of reasons. And let's not forget all the cops and ICE agents that are being assaulted, harassed, and doxxed lately. Just for a reason. And lastly, just because you have a green card and you have a work visa, that you're here legally does not mean that you cannot break the law, which will result in you being arrested by ICE and put in deportation proceedings. Like, why does the immigrant have to explain this, which is common sense? Like, I'm not even using laws here. I'm not even mentioning Title 8. I'm not mentioning the Constitution. I'm not mentioning anything. Just common sense. Yes, you can be a US citizen that is being detained or arrested by ICE. Yes, you can be a green card holder that is being detained or arrested by ICE, and you can be a work permit holder or a visa holder that is here legally, but you did something and then you're being detained or arrested by ICE. This is nothing new. We had this going on for years. The only reason people care now about it is because social media, politicians, and the legacy media told them to.
I've been talking about recently about how devastating ICE's recent raids are on immigrant communities and just Nebraska communities in general, and how important immigrants are. And a Nebraska Examiner article came out today that really exemplified this. I highly encourage you to read it yourself, but here's a couple highlights. It starts off by being abundantly clear, whether you're undocumented or documented, as an immigrant, you're in danger. Both kinds are working here in Nebraska, providing an overall benefit to our society and not committing any crimes in the midst of that. Not to mention the Trump administration has taken away the ability for many people to be here legally, who are currently here legally, without any warranting. Overall, it notes there are 140,000 people here in Nebraska who are immigrants, which is more than half the size of Lincoln, our capital. And they then contribute $1.3 billion of taxes. In the midst of all this, our industries are dying. Industries like nursing homes, hospitality, construction, food processing, healthcare, education, all of these are losing people, and our population is aging. For Nebraska, this is a matter of survival. All the while, our immigration system is built to be like this. It is built to be this slow, this dysfunctional. And it finally makes note that our politicians that are currently in office, throughout the entire country really, aren't interested in fixing the system or don't have plans to do so, before wrapping up with the list of solutions it has. Though I would say that none of these solutions go far enough to actually fixing the problem. Anyway, if you got the time, take a read.
I got one thing to say. I don't give a fuck what you think, man. Fuck anybody who believes in ICE. Fuck all of you. Fuck this whole fucking thing and this Trump administration, all this shit that's going on. Let me tell you something. The people who built this country are mostly brown people, all right? They come from other countries and they try to help, build this country so they can get money to send home to their fucking families. But look, you see this fucking job I'm on? I'm on a 440,000 square foot fucking building. It's fucking 3:30 in the afternoon. Usually people are going home at 8 o'clock in the fucking evening. And look, it's a fucking ghost town around here. All right? It's a fucking ghost town. And why? Because fucking federal agents just raided the fucking building next door and they got wind of it. And these people, they can't even be on this job site without having the proper paperwork to be on this job site because our company abides by the rules, right? But no, they're fucking picking them up. They're throwing them in paddy wagons and saying, prove your citizenship. But that takes months and months and fucking months, all right? I'm fucking hot. 2 of my guys are gone because they're fucking like, I'm not going to deal with that. They'd rather be home with their families, safe and sound, than to have ICE agents come and fuck with them. So I'm creating a new fucking thing. I'm going to call it FIRE, man. Fuck ICE. FIRE. Fuck immigration regulation enforcers. Fuck you guys. This is bullshit, and you fucking know it. Oh, they took our jobs. They took our jobs. All right, you little white boy. Get your ass out here and start throwing that iron like I did. See that decking? It's waiting on you. See this concrete? It's waiting on you. See the installation of this shit? It's waiting on you. See that electrician work? It's waiting on you. Quit being a little punk and blaming the brown-skinned person because, you're upset and you're just in a cult. You love Donald Trump. Man, fuck you and fuck ICE. Fuck you.
New York City, brace yourselves. Because if y'all haven't heard, because of that Dominican guy that decided to shoot at the freaking agents, okay, now it was announced that they're going to be sending the whole entire ICE force, okay, to New York City to ransack New York City for all of the illegal migrants, okay? So if you are an illegal migrant, you better shelter in place. You better find somewhere to go. You better go back to your country, whatever you need to do. Because they are coming to New York 100 full blast, okay? To come and take everybody that's illegal the hell up out of here. They're not playing. This is what happens when one person, okay, does something that makes everybody else look crazy. Now, because he decided to shoot at an agent, now all of them are coming to New York to ransack and raid New York City, all right? So make sure that if you are Hispanic, you are black, or you are any other color other than white tea, you have your New York State ID with you at all times. Because if your ass ain't got your ID to identify yourself, ICE will take your ass, all right? I warned y'all.
I was driving by MacArthur Park and then I saw this sketchy police vehicle pull into the Home Depot on Wilshire. And a part of me was just like, okay, go follow it. And so I kind of follow it and then it just parks and nobody gets out of the car. It's tinted windows. There's a license plate in the back and then the front, it doesn't have a license plate. I actually took a video of it and it says canine. It has a canine sticker and the plate says, US Navy and like veteran and stuff. And so I'm like circling around the car in the parking lot because it already parked. And then I see a security guard and I'm like, hey, like there's this suspicious vehicle, like you should check it out. It's parked right here. Like, please, like it says US veteran. And then the security's like, you know, veterans shop at Home Depot. And I was like, that's not what this is about. Can you just go please check out the vehicle? Because it has like tinted windows, everything's blacked out, like you can't see anything. And he was like, yeah, I'll go check it out. And so I just kind of circle around one more time, and I'm gonna post the video of what the vehicle looks like and everything. But it's just like, you know, like Home Depot, the Home Depot here by MacArthur Park has been targeted. And I just like, I saw the car pull into the driveway and I just had to go and follow it. And so I'm posting this. This is happening right now. It's Thursday, 1 p.m. here in Los Angeles. Okay, so this is what the vehicle looks like from the back, just so you know the license plate and can see. And then I'm gonna show you what it looks like in the front. I got a video of this, so this is just gonna be me showing you a video. But he just parked and he didn't get out, so like he wasn't. I mean, maybe he's shopping at Home Depot. I don't know, but it looked all suspicious, so I had to take, you know.
Proceed to the route.
I don't care who you are. You are not safe from these ICE raids. If you think that you are safe from ICE raids just because you're a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident or have legal status, you are dead wrong. We just discovered Trump's new quota system, and it is worse than you could possibly imagine. Trump's ICE agents have a new secret quota, 75 arrests per day per office. That's 1,800 people every single day. Here's the terrifying part. They're focused on numbers, not the bad guys. My clients with pending immigration cases arrested. People with clean records being arrested. Parents, workers being arrested. ICE even recently arrested a U.S. military veteran. When the goal is mass deportation now, due process, common sense, and public safety all goes right out the window. Follow me to learn how you can protect yourself and your family. I don't care who you are. You are not safe from these ICE raids.
ICE raids have went sky high in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ever since Mr. Charlie have taken office and all, it been so many ICE raids every day in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They have arrested over tons and tons of people. And they say most of the people they have arrested and detained does not have no criminal rap sheet whatsoever, but still have to arrest them if they're in the country here illegally or not. Like, this is getting out of control with these ICE raids and all. And especially in Wisconsin, they say Wisconsin is one of the most racist states ever in America and all. And due to the fact that Wisconsin is a dairy state, is a farm area and all, it's going to be a lot of racial tensions, just like Western PA and all that. And Milwaukee, Wisconsin is a stereotype segregated city as well, too, also, and all. And it's a lot of racism, discrimination in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, between the blacks and the Hispanics out there as well. And being Milwaukee, Wisconsin is about 90%, I believe, black people and about 30 to 40% Hispanics. And the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the outskirts is mostly all white tea people in the outskirts. So it's going to be a lot of ICE raids in that area. And due to the fact that Milwaukee, Wisconsin is right next to Chicago, Illinois, that's massive ICE raids out there. And so to all you people out there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, watch y'all's back, because ICE raids is hitting y'all's areas for real. And then they said they have made up, they said they have arrested over 445 people per day in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Like, dang, 445 people a day. That's a lot of people per day, you know. And like they say, most of these people don't have no criminal record. So why is you arresting people that don't have no criminal record? I don't care if they're illegal or not, but still, why are you arresting them? Like I said, it's racial profile discrimination against us minorities. Like every day you be hearing this and all. It is going on everywhere across the United States. West Coast, Midwest, down south, East Coast. Yeah, every day. And the ICE agents was sitting there saying on the article, it doesn't matter if they have a criminal record or not, if they're legally here, if they're suspicious of being a terrorist or a gang member or a gangster or a killer or a threat to the society, we is still going to arrest them. And I don't believe none of that. It's just racial profile discrimination. And we already know that. So yeah, to all you people out there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, watch your back and be very, very careful of your surroundings, because ICE agents is in your area and they hit hard with massive ICE raids and all. They gonna be hitting big up here up north. Y'all's people think it's the West Coast. No, it's up here too also. All these Mr. Charlie supporters is working with law enforcement, ICE agents, immigrants, and customs informants as well. Do not trust nobody. You don't know who's working with these ICE agents. This is getting out of control for real, for real. Like, this is just getting out of control. And as a matter of fact, when I was downtown protesting and all, as I was protesting, this one dude, he was at the stop sign and he rolled his window down talking about, oh, I love ICE. They doing their job. And I said, F ICE agents and F you too. Now keep on going. Some white dude with some glasses. Shoot, he could be one for all I know. And all, he probably just watched me protesting. That's the one thing you protesters better watch too. And all, we be protesting because they come at us too. For real, for real. And all, like, this is getting out of control. But yeah, though, y'all's got to watch y'all's back for real.
Welcome back. So, credits to the creators on those ones. Please, you know I'm very particular about this ICE-ish. I want to talk to you from heart to heart, please. If you know you are undocumented, please kindly avoid places that distribute foods, avoid some, they even go to offices, you see. Now they are on checkpoints. They are registered with so many legal offices as well. And so many places right now. For me, I would say avoid anything you can do that will get you on their track, right? If you can, stay indoors. Please do not allow these people get you. I'm worried about it because I don't like the condition and the situations I've been seeing people in the camps recently. So please avoid those places. Even down to offices, they are now going to places. Imagine a place like Nebraska that ordinarily their farmers, their immigrant farmers stopped coming to work when they heard about the whole raids. But you can imagine that they resumed raid again yesterday, which means they are really, really getting information from people. And so for that, to avoid being embarrassed and to avoid putting your family in pains and to avoid your family being broken, please stay indoors, right? Let's see how everything is going to go in the next 1 month, 2 months. Right? Please do not, be a part of this thing. It's horrible. The way they are treating people in the detention centers right now, it's not good for you. 30-something people in one room and they all have just one toilet. The females are made to use the same toilets as the men. Kids drink waters from the toilets. So it's that bad. Stay home. Avoid being arrested by the ICE raids. They are currently everywhere. Even in supermarkets, everywhere. Please be careful. If you have to send somebody to get groceries this time around, please do. But be indoors. I care a lot about you people. I don't want anything to happen to you all. Thank you so much. I hope you have subscribed. And I hope you're sharing these videos to your loved ones to avoid being caught by those people. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.